In my last video on habits, I briefly mentioned how important it was to not only build good success habits in your life, like learning, weightlifting, stuff like that. I also touched upon how negative ones, which go unnoticed to you, can have such a negative impact on your life without you even knowing. Well, that's why in this video, I have the hopes of bringing some of these habits, which you may not know about, to light, in the hopes that you eliminate them as a habit and continue to build good success habits to replace them. So without further ado, let's get into the first habit. The first habit is playing video games. I know I've already made a video on this, which I'll leave a link to up here if you want to watch that for yourself, but I want to touch upon it as well here because this is again one of the biggest ones which I fell for first. It's definitely one which can have a severe negative impact if you don't notice it and you treat it as something worth your time, and your mind kind of tricks you into believing that it's productive as well. Now, this is going to sound really obvious, but the best way to actually get over your habit of playing video games is to just stop playing them, because when that happens, you start replacing that habit with something else which gives you the same enjoyment. For me, it was weightlifting and going to the gym, because I can see progress from that, which is the same thing that I got from video games. Playing Minecraft or something, I get, I don't know, iron tools or something, and that gives me a little bit of a boost. But now that's replaced with me seeing my physique improve and my muscles grow and whatnot. The enjoyment I got from video games is completely displaced with the enjoyment I now get from weightlifting. As obvious as it sounds, the best way to get over it is by displacing your enjoyment of video games with something that is positive and gives you the same amount of enjoyment and benefit, if you get what I mean by that. One thing I thought of when I was trying to get over this whole video game habit thing was I thought about, imagine I spent all the time that I had accumulated on video games productively, which would have amounted to like over thousands of hours, right? Imagine I put those thousands of hours into something productive, like reading, studying, going gym, etc. I'd probably be where I want to be if I did that. So that thought process further helped me to break this habit and to again displace the enjoyment of video games with something positive and healthy. Yeah, bro, stop grinding on RuneScape, stop grinding on Minecraft, and start leveling up in real life, yeah? Get yourself into the gym, go reading, go socialize, do all these things, because these things give you the exact same benefit, but they're positive. The second habit really makes my blood boil, as you can probably tell from how often I tell people about this, but is vaping and smoking, right? Now, if you go high school, college, something like that, right, you're probably well aware of the goblins that go in the toilets at break time and lunchtime, bringing their friends, and they're in their circle formation, doing rituals, blowing their passion fruit orange flavor stuff right into each other's faces, right, bragging about their new VPN X340 model that they just got yesterday after this bimbo off the street, right? But you're probably also very well aware that that could have easily been you or me, if not for your social circle. Again, I've already made a video about this, but the best way to break this habit is by getting away from that negative social circle, because a lot of the times why people do these things is because they feel pressured to do it, they feel obligated to do it so they can look a certain way in front of their friends, something like that. Well, friends, you know what I mean. You have to be willing to say no and have that independence about you. Don't be a follower, be a leader. Distance yourself from them. Surround yourself with people who are going to push you, competitive people who do good habits, gym, reading, stuff like that, you know what I mean? And what you'll realize is that they are going to slowly decline while you, in turn, incline. Your success goes up, their success goes down. It just takes time. And at first it may seem that they're doing better than you, they're getting what they want, they're getting what you want, and stuff like that. But you just have to be patient, because all things that are built from negative stuff like that, they inevitably crumble because the foundation isn't there. Habit 3 is procrastination. And it's definitely one many will fall victim to, as I myself was a professional procrastinator for years on end. I'd probably substitute everything I was supposed to do in my day with either playing video games or playing video games or playing video games. And to be honest, I'd never used to get anything done. But how I overcame this in earlier years and recent times was mainly through substituting, again, bad habits for positive ones like weightlifting and stuff like that, because I learned to enjoy them. But more recently, I've found this kind of weird method online which kind of seems to work. It's called the 3-2-1 method. Whenever you notice your brain trying to procrastinate, right, count down from 3, and by 1, do the thing that you're procrastinating to think of. That way you become more aware of your procrastination, and eventually it gets knocked on its head as a habit, and you learn to just do the things and don't put them off, if you know what I mean. But if you want like a dead set method, then that's probably the thing you should go for. You know, certain things don't work for others and certain things do. But, you know, if that's more your thing, if you more want like a formal way to get rid of something, then there you go. To be honest, I think a habit like procrastination kind of just passively goes by you substituting and doing other positive habits and getting in a routine of doing, you know, good habits, and eventually that stuff will just kind of fade away, you know what I mean? But if you truly want to get rid of it, it's truly something you think that you need to get rid of now and then, try this out. It's a cool method. But for me, I don't use it anymore, to be honest. But I thought I'd include it here for some people that might find it useful. Now, if you're just getting into the gym, doing fitness, you know, working on yourself, eating too much junk food is not something you can really afford to do. You might see these fitness influencers online, right, telling you that, oh, dirty bulking's fine. You know, you can eat whatever you want as long as it fits your macros or nutrients or whatever. You can eat what you want. That's if you want to have severe cardiovascular and cholesterol issues down the line. By all means, do that if that floats your boat. But to be honest, it's much more fulfilling to eat clean and know that what you're eating is not only benefiting your health and, you know, your well-being down the line, but it's also benefiting you for your goals, I'm assuming, which is fitness and bodybuilding related, right? Like, one of the best ways to evaluate, you know, what makes you feel fulfilled the most is by eating clean for a long period of time, let's say like a month or two, you know what I mean? Then having 1 or 2 days where you just eat like pure junk food and stuff like that. If you've been eating clean for that long, chances are this 1 or 2 days will have such a heavy impact on you, and you'll realize that what you actually enjoy to do is what you don't want to do. It's weird, like, you know, I say this one thing to myself quite a lot. Judge the worth of your actions after you do them and not before. How do you feel after you just finished a Big Mac meal or, you know, KFC bargain bucket? How do you feel afterwards? You might feel very fulfilled, you know, you might feel, you know, chuffed that you've had something nice to eat. But bodily, it doesn't sit right. If you have that goal in mind, it doesn't sit right that you've ate something that's kind of going against what you want. Your goal takes priority in most of these times, so as long as you stick regimented to that, you'll probably have ups and downs, yeah, but this will ultimately be the better thing for you to do. Come on, man. Are you still using TikTok? Are you still using YouTube Shorts? Are you still scrolling Reels? You've got to grow up, brother. These things just offer nothing to your life, to your well-being, other than short instant gratification, entertainment, and a little bit of dopamine boost and a weird conversation you have with your friends about that one TikTok that's been going viral. These are the only minute benefits that you get from scrolling on these apps, okay? You only have 24 hours in one day, alright? 24 hours every single day. And that 24 hours you only get in that day. The time that you spend in that day is the only time you'll get. On average, some people probably spend around 3 hours, maybe 4, scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube a day. That's 4 hours of their day wasted. And you're never going to get that back. So if you add up the accumulated time that you spent on there in your whole lifetime, that probably accumulates to over 1,000 hours. That could have been put, like 1,000 hours is what people say it takes for you to fully master an instrument. Imagine you put that 1,000 hours into something productive. Life would just be better overall. Everything would be better. Well-being, physical, everything will be better. You just have to really knock this on the head, to be honest. I sort of associated the feeling of disgust with going on these apps. That's how I got over this. I just felt disgusted because you know what people do, they're like sitting back in their chair, legs crossed, and eyes just fixated on their phone. That whole posture in itself just it sends a chill down my spine, and even just the thought of reverting to something like that enables me to never ever ever scroll actively on that site ever again. I create content, but I don't consume content. Create, don't consume. So make sure that you make your days 100% productive, because ultimately you'll feel more fulfilled. You'll be working towards something permanent rather than temporary. And all in all, your life will just be better, I'm going to be honest. TikTok just drains the very essence of life out of you and stuff like that. Try this for a whole week. Try and not use it for a whole week, and I guarantee things like your social skills will improve. Your just overall confidence and stuff like that will just skyrocket within a week of your time. That's all it takes. As I said in the junk food one a second ago, even though it may not seem like it, what you don't like to do is actually what you'll end up enjoying in the long term. Like if you build an addiction to the gym and you keep going more and more and more, you'll feel less of a person if you don't go, because that's what you truly enjoy. You don't enjoy these things. You actually enjoy doing the things you don't want to do. So yeah, there's my TikTok rant over for the day. The weekly videos will be back. Just a little late on this one because editing took a little bit more time. But I'll be back. Reels consistently as well. And yeah, strive for greatness and don't be a vape puffing nerd.